everybody, it's Annie and Patrick here with Step by Stage Interiors.
Hey guys.
And today we have Miss Olive. So you guys have probably recognized her, but if you guys are just now tuning in and seeing us for the first time, this is Miss Olive. We do put a pug in every one of our stagings, and Miss Olive came to work with us today. So if you hear some snorts, that's her, so we apologize. But
yes, and we don't put a live pug in every one of our stagings. We'll put a pug of some sort, whether it's a piece of decor or artwork, any little things to kind of, it's just our hallmark for what we do when we stage our houses in our area. But we love our little pug, and she's our bundle of joy, and she's not very photogenic and or personable on the camera. As you can see, she's pretty chill.
This is her nap time, guys.
Yes,
so
it is her nap time.
She's probably going to lay on my lap, and if you hear some snores, we're sorry.
Okay, bye-bye.
Okay, so here she goes. But today we just want to talk about how you can get better offers, more offers. And this is the third video of this series of why everybody needs to use home staging when you're selling your house.
Yes, that's right. Part 3 of why staging is for everybody. And today, obviously, to Annie's point, we're really wanting to talk about how to get more offers for your properties, whether you're a realtor or you're a homeowner or an investor or a flipper. At the end of the day, everyone's looking for the highest and best offer. And we're going to go over a variety of different talking points to that today, so you guys can hopefully get some takeaways from this.
Exactly. So we just want to kind of jump in and just tell you just a good recipe for a sale. So everybody always asks us before they put their house on the market, like, what can I do to ensure I get the best offer? And I always like to say the recipe of a good sale is, number one, your price. So really listen to your realtor on the comps in your area and what she thinks that, or he thinks that you can get for your property. 2, your location of your house, right? So location is everything. So depending if it's in the country or if it's like down in the city or where it's located, good school districts, that's going to matter on how you can price your house. And then the condition of your home. So does your house need some updates, or has it been completely remodeled and it's fresh for the market? So you're going to have to kind of see what deferred maintenance there is for the new buyer and kind of price that accordingly. And then the 4th thing is, I always like to say, is the marketing strategy of listing your home, which is where the staging comes in.
Exactly. And to Annie's, 4 talking points, these are things that we talk about 100% of the time when we're out for our initial consultation, whether it's in person with the seller or an agent, or it's over the phone for folks that might not be able to, meet or have already moved on to a different city or state. So we're constantly, and stages are always working with people that may not be in the area. So when we talk about our recipes for a success and a successful sale, those 4 key ingredients are what we usually mention. We all know location is one of those things where your house is where it is, right? There's not a lot you can change.
Your location.
Yeah, you can't change your location, but you can do things better to make your location showcase better, whether it's in person or online. And obviously staging can play a part of that.
Yes.
To your point, you mentioned earlier the conditional work.
Yeah.
You want to talk a little more about that and how that can help add a key ingredient to a successful sale?
So your condition really matters. If the house is dated on the inside, buyers kind of want a little bit of a
more turnkey these days.
Turnkey, yeah, or they want a deal, right? Because they know that they're going to have to go in there and correct some of those issues. And some things that you can do that does not cost a lot of money to do conditional items is just painting, changing some light fixtures out, maybe adding fresh flooring. So if you have like old carpet or maybe just like old tile, removing that or placing something over that tile, like a vinyl wood plank these days that can go straight over the tile, just to give it a more modern feel, something that's more appealing to today's buyers, and that could really save you guys a lot of money when you're selling your house.
That's right. And some of those things can be more expensive than others. So depending on your personal situation or your budget of what you have to deal with, sometimes upgrades into flooring and carpet and tile might be worth it to be able to add return on investment and value to that house. Other times, things that are less expensive, that are easy to do, like upgrade some dated lighting fixtures or just doing some brief painting on certain spaces.
Painting and light goes a long way. So a lot of times stagers can, I don't want to say we hide anything, but we can make like a dated space feel relevant in today's market.
Yeah.
So as long as like the paint looks good, the light fixtures are all working, and they're more on the current side and not, super dated. There's a lot of things that we can do in our profession to show people how to live in that space and make a move in thinking, you know what, I can live like this and I can make this look how I want it to look and not have to spend so much money.
Exactly.
So,
and the professional stager in your area, when you meet with them and you talk with them for the first time, they should be as transparent and as open as possible, in obviously a tactful and graceful way, right? We never want to make anybody feel insulted about how they live or the way it looks, but we just want to be honest with people to make recommendations that will add value to that property and increase the sale of the home at the end of the day when people go to close. And obviously, when you add value to your property, you tend to get more offers and higher offers. So kind of leading us back to, offers, how to get the highest.
And there's a lot of times we go into houses and we're just very honest with people in a very nice and respectful way. And we'll say something to them and they say, oh, wow, I didn't even think about that, but do you think it would really help? And so sometimes you as a homeowner may not even know what to do or what to change or what buyers are looking for. And you're looking at us and also your realtor to guide you through that process and make sure that we are expressing everything that we can to make sure that you can get the offers that you need to sell your house.
That's right. And on the flip side of that, for the realtors watching, sometimes, as we work with so many realtors over the years, some realtors are more comfortable than others about explaining to their sellers what needs to stay, what needs to go, and without maybe upsetting them or hurting their feelings. So some realtors are better than others. Whereas when they can bring in, an objective party who, is really just going to give them an honest assessment from the outside in, a lot of times people will bring in a home stager, if you're an agent, to kind of go over these things that you see in addition to maybe the reinforcement you might have already told to a home buyer.
And we've been trained to have these conversations with homeowners. So we're very tactful when it comes to explaining why to do certain things, and we're educating them along the way. And so we, like Pat said, we never want to offend anybody, but we also want them to know that this is now a product, right, that we're putting on the market. And so we need to make sure that it appeals to the most buyers and not just, a few that will make maybe a lower offer. So
right. And everyone is selling their house for different reasons. There's so many reasons to even talk about, on this episode of this cast. But we always ultimately say, what is your goal as a homeowner or as an agent?
Yes.
What is your goal? Are you looking for just a quick offer and you're wanting to take it so you can get out of there fast? Or would you rather have numerous quick offers, maybe higher and best overall offers that brings the most equity to the closing table for you as a seller and for you as an agent? So when we talk about offers and adding professional staging to your listing as a competitive marketing advantage, that will tend to generate higher offers and faster. And one thing I'll also add is, this is a lot of public information that everybody out there can look up, whether you go onto the National Association of Realtors website, NAR.com, the Real Estate Staging Association, RESA.com's websites. These are all facts that are run every year for home statistics, and over 90% of staged homes will sell for over asking price.
So Patrick likes to talk a lot.
Yeah, I do. And Annie likes to interrupt too, but that's okay.
I have to get a word in. I have to.
That's right. But to my point, over 90% of staged properties will sell for over asking price, and they will sell usually anywhere from 1 to 17% more. So that's important.
We've been in business going on 11 years now. And in that course of 11 years, I can honestly say that our houses sell faster than non-staged houses. And it doesn't matter if it's a buyer's market or a seller's market. And in today's market, things are flying off the shelf super fast. And they're always like, well, why should I stage if I'm going to get an offer first day it's on the market? And that's a really good topic too, because yes, things are selling crazy fast, but they're not always selling at asking price or above asking price, right? So the staging will help you get above asking price and make sure that you get a ton of people viewing your home, which is what the marketing does.
And that's what people are looking for at the end of the day. A fast sale and a great return on investment for what they invest for professional staging and what they take home at the closing table for max profit and top dollar.
Yep.
Another thing that we like to talk about is there's lots of types of offers that you can get. There's lowball offers, and there's at asking price offers, and then there's above asking price offers. And we've seen it time and time again in our experience where, somebody might list their property and it might just have, it's got the disheveled, cluttered look on the inside, but they just list it fast and there's clothes everywhere and the bed's not made.
Yeah.
There's dishes in the sink. There's toys strewn about all over the house. So if you're listing that, you can probably anticipate or expect maybe a low offer. And obviously that's something you want to avoid if you're living in the property or if you've moved out. It's vacant.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times when the houses are vacant too, those photos on MLS, I have a hard time knowing. I'm like, is that a living room? Is that a master suite? Like, what am I looking at? So you really want to paint that picture for your audience on how to live in that space, what they're going to use that space for, and how their family is going to make that into their home. So I think, them not knowing what those spaces are, they may not drive out to the house to go look at it, and you may miss an offer. So
that's right. I can personally attest. I look at houses all the time on Redfin and Zillow.
Yeah, we kind of went over this in our last episode.
I'll look at a space and I think it's a living room, but it turns out to be a bedroom. And I would have never known just by looking at the blank space, online. We'll always say, try to avoid the 3 Bs: bland, boring, and barren. If your house is vacant, what are you marketing? What are you showcasing? Just empty space that might be soulless or disconnected?
Is your audience going to be attracted to?
Yeah, what are they looking for?
Yeah. So that's what's so important about good marketing when you put the house on the market, because your house becomes, a product when you put it on the market. It's no longer a home. It's now a house being ready to have new owners, and to get the right owners. You definitely need to market it correctly.
That's right. And the home selling process can be very stressful. It's something that maybe someone's never done ever in their whole life, or you're selling it for maybe there's a personal matter within the family that happened and it's a stressful time. Someone may have just passed away, or you're relocating to a completely different area. So there's a lot going on. So the last thing you want to think about is the home selling process and, getting nervous and apprehensive about if it's going to sell fast enough, if you're making an offer, contingent on your house selling first. So where stagers come in is we can provide that, emotional, psychological connection to the property that helps get you those offers faster.
Exactly. So those are really good key points. We actually have a couple things on the computer from our blog that do you want to show them?
I sure do, actually.
Or go over some of that? But we also have a blog, so you guys, if you sign up for our email, you guys can get our blog every single month. But this month we are doing a blog on some of the offers that we just got in last month that were pretty amazing, and they all sold above asking price. So,
and that's right. And to Annie's point, our blog, for anybody that goes to our website, which is stepbystageinteriors.com, there's a blog section in the upper corner. And then we'll usually put 3 or 4 blogs per month on not all things just staging. We have design tips that are out there, what's trending for 2022, like styles. It's a lot of great things that you can use in your everyday life instead of maybe just staging. But for some reason, my computer isn't wanting to work right now. But the good news is some stories we wanted to share with you guys talking about offers and how staging can impact that is. For example, 4 houses that are going to be in our blog this month are multiple different price points ranging anywhere from the mid 300s to over $1 million. And in those circumstances, we had one that was listed for $379. It was on the market for only 3 days before it went under contract. It had 5 offers on it, and it sold for $16,000 over asking price from listed to sold in 30 days. And these are things that make people very happy.
We had another one that was a $1.2 million house that sold. I think that one sold in 3 weeks, Pat.
It was pending in 3 weeks on that property. It was a very unique, intricate property on the lake.
It was really cool.
Here in Lakeland,
very
Florida.
Artsy.
It was very Frank Lloyd Wright-esque on the outside, on the inside.
And it sold $50,000 over asking, which is pretty impressive. But
yes, and obviously that made our clients super happy as well.
So
we had another example where something was listed for $549,900. It was also in Lakeland, but this was more of a historical home. It was a multiple level, had a great backyard with a pool, and it had a detached mother-in-law suite. The previous homeowners were just the sweetest couple ever. They had moved out to move to a bigger house for their family that was growing. And this one ended up going under contract in less than a week. It had multiple offers on it.
I think that one was 48 hours.
I think it was.
Yeah.
It was just a few days. And That one went for $20,000, almost over asking price, very, very close to it. I think it was actually 16. If I'm not
So we
mistaken.
always say the houses would sell anyways, but would they go above asking like they did? And
Mhm.
probably not. So a small investment for staging and marketing gets you a huge return on the back end. So a lot of people will take price reductions because they don't
Yes.
necessarily see the money, right? And they're like, oh, I'm just gonna put the house on the market. This is what the comps support. And then after 2 or 3 weeks, if you don't get an offer, you're like, oh, you know what? We priced it too high. Let's go ahead and just do a $10,000 price reduction.
Mhm.
Well, why do that when you have stagers that can come in and make that house look amazing day one, and your first impression is going to be awesome, and you'll never have to lose that $10,000. And hopefully you get bidding wars like we just talked about.
Yes, and I love to talk about price
Mhm.
reductions, right? Because I feel like price reductions is almost like fake money. And what do I mean by fake money? It's not money that you feel come out of your checking account or your bank account when you make that decision. If you buy something and it's $2,000 or $3,000, you're paying for that usually right there, so you feel that right away. But if your house is listed and it's 3 or 4 weeks in, it's starting to kind of cool off, like the honeymoon period of listing that property is kind of
Mhm.
over, so you're wondering what to do. As an agent or a seller, most of your recourses at that point are to take a price reduction.
Yeah,
But
if
if
that's
you-
the only thing in your back pocket,
That's
that's
right.
where you have to go.
Yeah, and if it's a $400,000 house, you're likely taking a $5,000 or $10,000 price reduction, which is usually 2 to 3 to 4 times more than what that house would usually cost to stage, and that money's gone. But you don't feel that being gone, in essence, that fake money,
Right.
because you don't know. But it's still a ton of money that you could have had in your pocket if you would
Exactly.
have chosen a different product, or maybe chose to stage in the
And
beginning.
that's why staging is an investment versus a cost.
Yes.
So we'll kind of go into that a little bit on another blog segment, but and video segment, I should say.
Exactly. Well, I know you wanted to talk about elevating your home. How different ways are to elevate your home on the outside, and on the inside.
Yeah, and this is great too because a lot of people don't even think about staging the outside of their house. But curb appeal is extremely important. So I always say if you can't see it, you can't sell it. And there's a lot of times where you can't see windows because there's so much landscape in the front. And that also makes it really dark on the inside. So for photos and stuff, the inside of your house is going to look pretty dark. And so manicuring all of your landscaping, putting down fresh mulch,
Pressure washing driveways.
Pressure washing
for the house,
driveways.
cleaning windows.
cleaning soffits,
Mhm.
all of that stuff matters. And most of the times buyers are out there waiting for the realtor to, meet them at the property, and they're starting to look around the property, right? So they're spending a lot more time outside your house. And if they start seeing things that are questionable or that are going to cost them money, I mean, the energy is already tanking, and they're like, I don't know. I mean, okay, let's look on the inside, but let's keep moving on.
Yeah.
And you don't ever want that to happen, right? You want to impress them before they even take the first step up to the house.
That's right. And buyers are judgy, right? They're going to judge your house on the
Yeah.
outside and in.
They're going to be spending a lot of money. They should be judgy, right?
That's true. Buying a
Mhm.
house is for 99% of people in their life is the most expensive purchase they're ever going to make. So when they're going to purchase a property, regardless of how much that property is or for what they're using it for, they're really going to be nitpicky to make sure they're getting a great deal and don't have a lot of work to do on those properties.
Exactly.
It's going to take them time and effort.
Well, and color makes a big difference too. So if your house is faded or if it's kind of like a color that's a little bit dated, that's probably going to deter some people too. So making sure that your house looks like the paint is fresh. The front door, oh my goodness. Front door
Yes.
impressions are huge, guys. And we go to so many houses where the front door just looks like crap. And it just needs a fresh coat of paint. It's like $50.
Yeah, it's super
Maybe.
inexpensive. And something
And new
just that
hardware
anybody
too.
can do.
A lot of people have hardware that's just like tarnished or the lock doesn't work, right? So you want the locks to work so people can get in fast, not have to like juggle and jiggle and stuff to get in. And then you also just want that fresh door to feel so fresh and inviting, and they're going to be excited to enter that house.
That's right. And everybody is a seller. Every realtor, every home
Mhm.
seller, once, believes their house is worth a lot, right? It's their house. They have a lot of
They have a lot of
sweat
pride.
equity
People have
into
pride
it.
in their
They've got a
homes.
lot of memories there. And when that house goes on the market, the sentimental value really doesn't matter anymore. It's just now a product at that point. And a lot of times, we've seen many times where people think they can get this for their house, but it's really not worth that because it's their house and they want it to be worth the most they possibly can. Or it could be worth that if there's a little bit of elbow grease, rubbed in there to make sure that house is properly, prepared to sell for that listing price.
I even like to say, I mean, if a Q-tip can fit somewhere, make sure it's clean. So dirty houses are just so unappealing, and buyers know when a house is dirty, right? So, and they're going to be looking at that kind of stuff. They're going to be opening drawers, closet doors, all of that. So make sure your house, if you're still living in it, is organized, your closets are organized, and everything is super, super clean. So if you have kids or animals or anything like that, you may want to just hire a housekeeper until the house goes on or under contract, or put yourself on a schedule. Like, okay, every Wednesday and Saturday, I'm going to clean my house, because you're going to have to clean more often, right? If your house is being shown. So things like that go a long, long ways if you want the best offers.
Yeah, and everybody watching this video, especially for our sellers watching this video, your house deserves to sell for the most, right? No matter what.
Yeah.
And whether that's an $80,000 condo or a double wide or a multi-million-dollar property.
It's everybody's largest investment.
Right. Everybody deserves to get top dollar for their home. And through professional staging, stagers can provide you, whether you're living in that space, a written occupied consultation or an occupied staging to make it more showcase ready, or if it's vacant, to ensure that your property is showing, very model-esque. It's the best one people want to look for, because when people are looking for properties, they're scrolling online, they're looking around, and they're only going to go through about 3 or 4 pictures.
But there's 2 things that buyers are going to remember the most. Mm-hmm. One is the color of the inside. So paint colors, and you guys are going to see this all the time now if you're watching HGTV, right? Like, people always say open concept. Oh, it's open concept. Oh, there's granite. Oh, I don't like the color on their walls. Color is so easy to change, but everybody notices. Mm-hmm. So if it has a good paint color and if it smells good, people always remember the smell of a house. Mm-hmm. So if the house is stinky, people are probably going to be turned off. And even though that's an easy fix. It just turns them off.
And when you live in your house for so long, sometimes you get nose blind to those things. Cigarette smoke or animal dander, or just,
even
the
cooking
mustiness.
odors,
Yeah, cooking odors, the mustiness of older houses. So, when people come in, they can instantly smell that or be aware of it, whereas you may not have. So getting another party to come in, such as a stager or an agent or a cleaner,
and be honest with
give you an honest assessment of what it's like, that goes a long, long way. We live in a society where everybody has allergies. Or has some type of a sensitivity to something. So we wouldn't want you as an agent or as a seller to lose prospective buyers because of a scent.
Or get a bad offer because of that.
That's right, a bad offer because of that. And that's your low offers when you get into that.
Yes.
So there's a lot of different avenues and a lot of different offer types that come through depending on, the house, the key ingredients of your property, right? We talked about the recipe, the location, the condition, the price, and the staging. When those 4 things are strong, imagine those 4 pillars of like the foundations of the corners of your home. If all 4 of those pillars are lined up, then your property should sell quickly and for top dollar. Correct. If one of those things is weak or isn't as good as it should be, you may have a little bit of issues when trying to sell that property, and it could sit a little bit longer, which could lead to price reductions and hinder your offer.
Yes. So those are some of the things that you can do to elevate your home: is curb appeal. Make sure your color is good throughout. Make sure there's no odors. Mm-hmm. Make sure you have really good lighting. And also, I hate this, so I'm just going to put it out there, but if your smoke detectors are beeping, go ahead and fix those. That happens a lot in vacant houses, and nobody notices it because they don't live there anymore. But that's pretty annoying to have those like little beeps going off all the time when people are trying to imagine themselves living there.
Yeah, see your house taking a tour.
So make sure that those all have batteries or are not beeping.
That's right. And then, again, at the end of the day, to recap today's podcast.
Oops, sorry, that's Olive.
We actually have a mail truck out front, so she's kind of getting a little growly because she likes to bark at the mailman and the UPS guys when they go outside of our front office, or big box trucks delivering furniture. But to recap, getting the highest and best offer is not as challenging as you think it is, as long as your home is being marketed in the right way. We always advocate for real estate agents because they're experts at what they do. They know the area, they know the right comps for your property, they have the appropriate marketing skills and resources to make sure that you're getting the best for yourself as a seller. One of those things that a lot of agents that we work with, they're always talking about, I think it'd be smart to have a stager come in and give you guys a complimentary consultation.
Yeah. And I think that's great. And we love being part of a realtor's team and being able to help them along the way with selling their listings, because it does take a large group of people to get one house under contract, right? It does. It takes a village. And we are excited to be part of that village. And a lot of people think home staging is an option, and it really is an option. But I really think that's very, very necessary in today's market. With everything so visual online too, you really want your property to stand out visually, and it's just everything's about attraction these days, right?
That's right. So we're in the business of first impressions. First impressions matter, from how we look on camera, to showing up to meeting a client for the first time, to being prepared, to making sure that property showcases it in its best light on its first impression.
Yes.
Which is going to be in person for showings and online when people are looking at it.
Exactly.
So at the end of the day, every house deserves top dollar. Every house deserves a quick sale. And we want your properties to follow that same suit and have the same recipes for success by utilizing professional home staging for your listing, whether it's vacant or occupied, consultative, whatever the necessary need it could utilize to showcase better. That's what we want for our sellers.
Absolutely. So I think this wraps up today's video about offers. If you guys have any questions or any input or anything, please email us below, get on our blog, and we would love to hear from you guys.
That's right. Everybody have a great day, and we'll see you next time.
All right. Talk to you guys later.